I really like this guy, I really want to talk to him. Do not chase. You texting him first, you carrying the conversation, you calling him first, that's chasing.
Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. But if you are new here, my name is Miss Mookie, and on my channel I like to talk about things involving self-growth, self-love, and just to help people better themselves. So in today's video we are going to touch on the topic of how to stop getting played by men. This is a really important topic to me because I don't like getting played, and that was something that I struggled with in my younger years, and I just thought that I would share my take on this because it's really important to stop getting played by people. You have to change your mindset. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the things that you should change if you do find yourself getting played by men or people in general. You want to just have better people around you so you can stop being used and stop being played. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this video. So the first thing about this topic is I want to talk about how men notice your insecurities, and this can happen without you even realizing it. Because as women, how we connect with other people is we talk about ourselves, we like to learn about other people, and when we are talking, we can sometimes broadcast our insecurities, whether we're speaking about them or not. We can broadcast our insecurities, and men can pick up on these things. Men notice your insecurities, even when you are not realizing they do. So you just want to be more mindful of that. And this is why I say you work on yourself. This is why I promote working on yourself so much, because when you change your perception about yourself, it's going to change how people treat you. You're going to see yourself in a better light, and you're going to see that you do not deserve to be treated a certain way, and you're going to automatically be able to pick out the people that are not going to treat you how you want to be treated. So this is why I say work on yourself. This is why I promote it so much, because once you work on yourself and learn to love yourself and you start growing as a person, you are not going to put up with certain amounts of treatment, but you're also going to look at yourself differently. Your perception of yourself is going to be completely different. Your insecurities are going to be a thing of the past. Like, I'm not saying that I don't have insecurities, but they're not something that I put on display for others to see. And I honestly hate to say it, but men with unhealthy mindsets, they literally prey on women that are insecure because they know what they can get away with. They know that what they can do. So when you're broadcasting your insecurities and you know you're an insecure person, men with unhealthy mindsets unfortunately look for women like that so that they can, make you into their next victim rather than changing themselves. I was reading this book. What is it called? All About Love by Bell Hooks. This book, it talks about love and how we perceive love and what love actually means to us as individuals, and also what we do, what love means to us, and just defining what love means. And it's a really great book, but she talks about how men who have suffered traumatic experiences as boys, it's harder for them to come back from that than it is for girls. I guess because of our brain wiring, our neural pathways. I don't know the full science behind it, but it is harder for men to come back from traumatic experiences. I've noticed that. I noticed that I was noticing guys are not going on these healing journeys that I see a lot of women go on. So it was just very interesting to hear her say that in this book, because that was something I've also noticed as well. Next thing you want to do, now that we know that men look at our insecurities and men with unhealthy mindsets prey on insecure women, you now need to determine if you are the type of person that is over talking while he is silent. Meaning, does he know more about you? Who carries the conversation when you all are holding a conversation? Or are you the one carrying it? If you are, then you are over talking, and the roles need to be reversed. He needs to be telling you about himself. He needs to be the one oversharing, so that you can determine if you like him rather than the other way around. You want to have an air of mysteriousness to you when you are, talking to a person, especially in the beginning, because you need to determine if he is somebody that is going to fit into your life rather than the other way around, because men perceive this as a woman as being insecure. And I'm going to share this story with you all. I was chatting with this guy, and I found him to be very attractive. But I noticed, I'm an empathic person, so I noticed when people's energy switches up as soon as it switches up. So I noticed that he started to pull back and he became quiet. Now, me already knowing this, that as a woman, I'm not supposed to be talking more than you when we're trying to get to know each other. So I noticed him stop talking, and he was just like having me carry the conversation. And younger me would have continued carrying the conversation because I don't like awkward silence, or I didn't like awkward silence. But I noticed that, and I was just, oh, let me be quiet. Let me not, because for me, now I see it as I am chasing him. I'm fighting for his attention, when it should be the other way around. Sorry for the lens. I'm not even gonna mess with it. But anyways, yeah, he should be the one, you know, fighting for my attention, fighting to, you know, fill that awkward silence, not me. Because that means I'm putting in more effort and more work, and as a feminine, I'm just not doing that. So you want to work on not over talking. If you find yourself carrying the conversation or filling the awkward silence, stop. Pull back your energy. Because he's supposed to be doing that. He's supposed to be the one impressing you. And honestly, when I get excited, I can talk a minute. Like, I could just go on and on and on and on. And I had to realize this. There was more than one scenario where I had to realize that I was the one, you know, carrying the conversation and over talking. And so each time I do notice I am talking more than the other person, or they're not engaging in the conversation as much as I am, I go silent. And I don't have a problem with being quiet because I used to be really shy. So I have plenty of experience being quiet. So if you notice that you are the main one carrying the conversation, or the main one doing most of the talking, and just, you know, you feel yourself fighting for his attention and fighting to keep the conversation alive, take a deep breath and stop. And this goes for texting as well. I honestly don't text first. If I'm talking to a guy, dating a guy, or whatever the case may be, I do not text him first. I do not call first. That I leave that up to him, because how I see that is a guy is supposed to be pursuing me, and if he is not putting in the effort to speak to me every day, you're not going to hear from me. And if they ever question it, I'm just going to tell them that's how I am, and that's me setting a boundary. So I don't want to hear it, oh, I really like this guy, I really want to talk to him. Do not chase. You texting him first, you carrying the conversation, you calling him first, that's chasing. So you want to stop doing that. Make him be the one to carry the conversation. Make him be the one to text you first. Make him be the one to call you first. Stop being the chaser. You are the prize. Stop treating these guys like they're the prize, okay? And men tend to do these things to see how much you're going to chase him. So trust me, they know what they're doing. So we, as a woman, as a collective, we need to stop, okay? Like I said, you want to remain mysterious, because men are going to, they're going to be more attracted to you, and they're going to know that you're not to be played with. So remain as silent as possible for you. The next thing I want to touch on is spilling your friends' secrets. Girls, we gotta stop doing this, because what you're showing this guy is that you are willing to betray your girl, your bestie, whatever the case may be. You're willing to betray her for his attention, for him. And so he's seeing, oh, she's putting me on a pedestal because she's telling me all of her friends' business. Don't betray your friend to be closer with this guy, because it's not making you closer. It's just showing him that you're putting him on a pedestal and that you like him more than he likes you. And this is not supposed to be that way. It's very, very much pick-me behavior. We're not doing this. As a collective, we're going to stop putting guys above our friends. That's not the case. Everybody's going to be on the same playing field. You should be able to give your attention to your friends, family, and partner equally. Stop putting these guys on pedestals, because they know when you're doing this. And that's going to make them think, oh, she likes me more than I like her. I'm on a pedestal. She's basically worshiping me. Da, da, da. This pick-me behavior. Men do not respect pick-me's. They settle with them. They don't respect them. Yeah, needless to say, gossiping behind your friend's back is wrong. No matter who you're talking to, it's wrong. Okay? You're not being a real friend if you have to sit here and talk about them behind their back. So if you're not going to say it to their face, if you haven't already said it to them, don't say it to anybody else. That's gossiping. That's backbiting. So, like I said, if you're willing to do all of this for him, you're showing him that you've put him on that pedestal, that very high pedestal, that you're looking up to him and praising the ground that he walks on. No. Stop doing it, please. The next thing I want to talk about is you believe it takes two to tango. And what I mean by this is you tend to take the blame for his unprovoked behavior. You tend to say sorry a lot, which is a trauma response, by the way, if you guys didn't know. You tend to see if he has a problem with something, you take blame for the problem. You're like, oh, I did this, so this must have been the outcome. It's people-pleasing behavior. Stop doing it. But also, there was a criminal, I think I heard this on TikTok. There was a criminal who was reported, who did an interview, and he said this is how he picks out his victims. He pursued women to be his victims, and this is how he would look for his victims, is to see who has that mindset of, or who believes it takes two to tango. I'm to blame for this. And there's nothing wrong with taking accountability for your actions, but stop doing it so much. And you want to start off by stop saying sorry, stop apologizing for everything. I remember when I was a teller, and my friend, loved him, he's a great guy, he would tell me, stop apologizing. And I was just like, I would just apologize for little things. I didn't even realize I was apologizing most of the time. But he told me to stop apologizing. And I later found out that that is a trauma response for, I forgot what it was for, but needless to say, it's a trauma response, and you want to stop apologizing. I noticed I was apologizing for little things, like, oh, I forgot to put a penny in your envelope. Like, I was a bank teller, and it was just like, oh yeah, I forgot to do this. Oh, sorry. I was apologizing for every little thing, and you want to stop. There's nothing wrong with taking accountability for your actions, but when they have little to do or nothing to do with why this guy is being provoked, don't apologize. Don't even acknowledge your behavior in the situation. Stop it. There's nothing wrong with taking accountability, but you're making people believe that you believe that it takes two to tango. I did this, so this made him do that. And honestly, you're going to attract people that are abusive, or have abusive mindsets, physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever the case may be. Stop apologizing and stop taking accountability for your behavior, because people are responsible for their own behavior. Are they taking accountability as much as you are? Then stop. Don't even bring up your behavior. And when you do this, is honestly showing people that you are weak, like you have a weak mindset. This is a weakness that they see and that they look for. That's what I was talking about. That's why I brought up the story about the criminal who was having that interview. He looks for people that blame themselves. So say you bump into somebody, and then that person you bump into says, excuse me, or I'm sorry. It was never their fault, but they're like, oh, I'm inconveniencing you in some way. And rather than, me feeling inconvenienced, I'm putting your feelings above my own. And that's what the criminal was stating that he looks for. And so I say all of that to say, you are not to blame. You are not to blame for somebody else's behavior. People act how they want to act. Now, if your behavior is bothering somebody who has a healthy mindset, they're going to bring that up to you in the most healthy way possible for them. So no matter what part you played in it, you can take accountability on your own time. Never let this guy get off of the subject of what is the problem. So say you bring up his behavior. You never want him to shift the blame. Oh, you did this, so this is why I did that. No, let's stay on topic, babe. Why did you do that? And don't sit here and try to shift the blame on me. Don't do it. The guy who you're dealing with, the person you're dealing with, they should be able to take accountability rather than shifting the blame. If they do that, we're good. We're golden. But if they can't, we have a problem. We have a problem. It does not take two to tango, baby. Okay? It doesn't. Next thing that you want to shift within your mindset so that you can stop getting played is stop the excessive mirroring. And what I mean by this is it shows a lack of identity and no personality. And so you're constantly, just picking up that person's behavior, and you're constantly, intertwining them into your life and your routine. It shows that you have no life, you have no personality, no mind of your own, and you want to stop that excessive mirroring. Yes, this is how we connect with people as women. This is how we connect with people. So it's very easy for us to, incorporate somebody into our life in that sense, but you want to stop the excessive mirroring, because it shows that you have no identity and that they can turn you into the person that they want you to be, or whatever the case may be. And like I said, it's easy to pick up on other people's habits, behaviors, language when you're constantly around them. But it's important to remain true to yourself. Remain true to yourself. Remember who you are, because this is going to cause you to lose touch with yourself. You're not going to remember who you are. This is how people lose themselves in relationships, because they're not remaining true to themselves. They're letting that other person determine who they are, who their identity is, what their personality looks like. They're allowing that person to do that. And I want to say this to say, grow a backbone. Stand up. You're being weak. Stay true to yourself. And I can say this because I've done this. When I was engaged at a very young age, I lost myself in a relationship, and I was in my early 20s. Who does that? So I'm saying this to say, don't do it. It's not worth it. Like, I had to refine myself, which is, it was for the plot, honestly. But you just want to remain true to yourself, because it's so easy to get lost in a relationship. When you lose yourself, it's just going to be like, who am I? Who am I without this person? Like, your life is literally going to start to revolve around them. It's just ghetto. Don't recommend. Don't lose yourself in a relationship. Stay true to yourself. Don't lose your identity. Don't lose your personality trying to mirror somebody so that they can feel more connected to you. Because at the end of the day, what you're doing is putting their feelings above your own. Remain true to yourself. People are going to like you for who you are. And if they don't, they're looking to change you, this and that. They are looking for you to be that insecure person who doesn't have an identity, who doesn't have a personality. You want to stay away from people like that. So yeah, remember, ladies, stay true to yourself, not to them. If you remain true to yourself, the rest falls into place. The next thing that I want to talk about is you getting jealous. Now, jealousy is a natural emotion. Everybody has experienced it at least once in their life. I have myself. But you want to change your mindset and your perception around jealousy, because this can allow you to get played. So whether he's giving his attention to someone else, he's liking somebody's pictures, videos, on Instagram and social media, don't talk about it with him, because you're showing him your what? Your insecurities. So talk about this with your girlfriend. Find a girlfriend if you don't have any friends. Talk about it with somebody. Journal about it. I don't care what you have to do. Don't talk about it with him. Don't let him know, oh, I'm feeling jealous because when we go out, you're not paying me attention. You're paying other people attention. Now, it's wrong for people to disrespect you that way. Don't get me wrong. But don't show him that you're jealous. Don't do it. So what this is you're showing him that you're not secure with yourself. Now, if he is being disrespectful, you gotta cut him loose. Point blank, period. A guy with a healthy mindset is not going to be, out there, outright disrespecting you. So if he is disrespecting you, gotta just cut him loose. Because honestly, disrespect is for me, it's a non-negotiable. I can't be around somebody that's disrespecting me, because what I'm doing is disrespecting myself by allowing that disrespect to even, continue. Or even take place in the first place. So what you're doing is showing him that you're not secure with yourself. And this all ties back into working on yourself, bettering yourself, so that you can have better in your life, be more secure with yourself. And then you can attract people that are not going to sit here and try to make you jealous. Because honestly, if some guy is sitting around here trying to make me jealous, I hate to break it to you, sweetie, you gotta go. I don't deal with that. I don't. Jealousy is trying to make me jealous is the biggest turnoff. It's the quickest way to get you cut out of my life. If you sit here and try to make me jealous, oh, it's done. It's done. Absolutely not. I'm not doing that. You sat here and thought I would want you more? Please. Please be so for real. Another thing that we have to work on as a collective is paying too much attention to social media. Now, remember when I said guys pick up on your insecurities when you are, broadcasting them. So if you're paying too much attention to social media, it shows that you need validation, outside validation. And when you're in a relationship, you should be able to validate yourself. So if you're hiding your likes, if you're hiding your likes and only liking his posts after he likes yours, just doing that tit for tat, it's very evident that you are looking for that validation on social media. And that's not a healthy way of living your life. Honestly, social media can be very unhealthy if you allow it to be, and this is why I say take breaks on social media. So if you are, you know, if you're going on the internet and comparing yourself to people and this and that, you need to take a break from social media, because it's not healthy to think this way and to be this way, and you shouldn't go to social media for that outside validation. All right, so another thing we need to work on, ladies, is responding to text immediately. And this is important because this ties back into chasing a guy. So, you know, just putting too much effort into the conversation. When you're putting too much effort into responding back to a guy, then this takes away from the guy being able to chase you and to pursue you. And I do this, I'm guilty of this. Sometimes I just want to get that response taken care of because I forget to respond, and I'll be like responding in my head, and then I'm just like, oh, I never responded to you. So sometimes when I see it, I want to respond immediately. But like I said, this does take away the chase for the guy, and guys love the chase. We all know this. We've all heard of this. Guys love the chase. So when you are taking it away from him, it doesn't give him much to look forward to when, you know, reaching out to you, because he's just like, oh, she's gonna respond right away because she's like in love with me. Anyways, men love the chase, so remember this. It does take away from the chase when you are responding immediately. Give him a little to wait for. Like, make his mind wander a little bit. Make his vasopressin increase. Like, oh, she's not responding to me. What's going on? Why isn't she answering me? Why isn't she responding to me? She didn't answer my call. Let me call. Why is she not calling me back? Like, let him wonder. Let him wonder. So it's like I said earlier, just remain as silent as possible for you to maintain that level of mysteriousness, because guys love that. It's like, she's not giving herself away to me. She's, you know, taking her time with, you know, allowing me to get into her life, into her world. Like, why am I not good enough? And then that just makes the chase. That makes them want to pursue you more. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys got some good information from this video. I enjoyed making it. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I will talk to you in my next video. Also, make sure you're subscribed, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.